One thing I wanted to ask you, with a number like Defying Gravity, so much of this movie was practical, but in Defying Gravity, you obviously have a lot of visual effects. How do you cut something so effectively when so much of it isn't going to be there until you've locked picture? Do you know what I mean? Like that whole sequence,
her seeing herself in the mirror, in the
all
window.
of that, the whole climax of the end of the movie. How do you cut that with so much green screen footage and stuff isn't, that you have to use your imagination?
You really use your imagination. You really have to imagine the building in the background, moving with her. But at the end of the day, you're really focused on performance, and focused on, Cynthia, and then looking at this one, I forget the cast member's name, the little girl, looking at her.
Karis,
yeah. And then, just focusing on the performance and then imagining everything else. And then you're, of course, pacing that stuff out. And then, you start to get things like post-viz in there, and you get like, really crappy versions of a building flying in the background, or a cutout version of a monkey chasing her. But ultimately, it's just really focusing on the performance and then just trying to use your imagination. I mean, Donald, you talk about all these films like Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back, and I was always thinking about these movies when I was cutting this movie. I was just so happy I finally got a chance to work with this geeky side of myself that I've always wanted to do these movies, these really big epic films. And now I get this chance. I was like, okay, what would Spielberg do? What would Lucas do? Like what kind of shot would he want to cut to, when the balloon is going up in the air and then the, cascades, fiery down to the ground. And I would
be like, what would Chew do, Myron? What would Chew do? But he wouldn't listen.
I was waiting for it.
He would never listen. I don't know.